Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Regina Anandi, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss asynchronous JavaScript, focusing on callbacks. So this is the part 1 of understanding of asynchronous programming, where we will learn what asynchronous programming is, what callbacks are, how callbacks work, and their advantages and limitations. This topic is very important for Node.js, React, and MERN stack development. JavaScript. JavaScript is a single-threaded language, which means it can execute only one task at a time. However, JavaScript is still capable of handling asynchronous operations. So here, asynchronous programming allows a program to continue executing the other task while waiting for time-consuming operation to complete. Examples of asynchronous operations include API calls, file input and output, timers like set time out, database queries. Without asynchronous programming, the browser or server would freeze while waiting for these operations. JavaScript handles asynchronous tasks using three main approaches. The first one is callback, next promises, and third one is async and wait. So in this lecture, we will focus only on callbacks. So now we need to know what are callbacks. So a callback is a function that is passed as an argument to another function. So this callback function is executed after the completion of some operations. So callbacks are the most basic and traditional way of handling asynchronous operations in JavaScript. They are commonly used with event handlers, timers, Node.js APIs. So we can simply put a callback tells JavaScript execute this function after the task is done. Let's understand the basic syntax of a callback function. So in this pattern, one function takes another function as a parameter. After completing its task, it calls the passed function. So this particular approaches allow us to control when and how a function executes, especially for delayed or asynchronous operations. Callbacks are easy to understand when the logic is very simple and straightforward. So let's see some asynchronous callbacks examples. In real-world scenarios, callbacks are commonly used with asynchronous functions like setTimeout. So this setTimeout function simulates a delay, which is such as loading data from a server. JavaScript does not wait for the timer to complete. Instead, it continues executing other code and executes the callback only after the delay function. So this clearly shows how asynchronous callbacks prevent blocking of the program. So now we'll see about the important concept called error handling. So error handling when working with callbacks is a very important concept. In Node.js, there is a standard convention for handling errors in callbacks. So the first parameter of the callback function is reserved for an error object. If an error occurs, the error object is passed. If the operation is successful, then null is passed instead. So this convention helps developers handle success and failure cases properly. However, as applications grow larger, managing errors using callbacks becomes complex, very complex. One major drawbacks of callback is a problem known as callback hell. This callback hell occurs when multiple asynchronous operations depend on each other. This leads to deeply nested callbacks, making the code hard to read, difficult to debug, difficult to maintain. The code structure starts to look like a pyramid, which is why it's sometimes called pyramid doom. This problem is one of the main reasons newer approaches like promises and async or wait were introduced. Callback patterns are very common in Node.js, which is built in modules, especially for the FS module. The file operations such as reading a file, writing to a file, deleting a file, or asynchronous and use callbacks. While callbacks work well for simple file operations, chaining multiple file tasks together can quickly lead to callback hell. So this example here, which shows why callbacks are powerful, but also why they have limitations. Let us now look at the advantages and disadvantages of the callbacks. First of all, we'll focus about the advantages. So advantages means simple and easy to understand, widely which is supported in JavaScript and Node.js, which is suitable for single asynchronous operations. So these are the advantages. When we'll see the next, the other side of the disadvantage side, which is nothing but leads to callback hell with nested calls. Error handling becomes very difficult, poor readability for complex logic. So because of these disadvantages, callbacks are mostly replaced by promises and async or await in the modern applications. So together today we'll summarize what we have learned now is to the JavaScript is a single threaded but supports asynchronous operations. Callbacks are functions which is passed as arguments to other function. They execute after an operation is completed. Callback which is very simple but can lead to callback hell. Error handling in callbacks follows the Node.js convention. Understanding callbacks is essential because of promises and async or await or built on top of them. So these are some puzzles to quickly brush up your memory. Thank you so much.